Often we grieve alone. Men grieve alone. As a child, I was taught basically to grieve alone. So these are the myths of grief that all of us, it's not intended that we learn them, but that's how we respond. It's a pretty standard way that we respond to grief across the board. Even first experience as a child. So often, if you lose a pet, your child, like a pet dies. Well, that's okay, James. We can go to the pet store and we can get another dog tomorrow. So in that instant, you learned, okay, my dog dies. We're not going to talk about how I love this dog and how it was my first best friend and all the emotions and feelings that I'm having about never seeing my beloved pet again. But that's okay because I shouldn't feel bad because tomorrow I can get a new dog. I can replace the loss. So just in that one experience, there's don't feel bad, replace the loss, grieve alone. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, we learn these things, not intentionally, but it's just how we learned how to respond to grief.
Well, it's like a cultural acceptance, or it's a cultural understanding that we're not going to talk about it because it's too painful to talk about.
Or on the flip side, it is what it is. We all die. There's nothing I can do about it, so then we do that spiritual bypassing or just minimize it so that we don't have to feel it too.
Right. So, how does unresolved grief typically show up in a father's relationships or daily life?
Grief affects every aspect of our lives. I tend to describe it like it puts a veil over our face. So when we look in the mirror, we don't even recognize the person we're seeing. It's almost like the person we were before and the person after, and you're still trying to figure who that after is, right? And I think you don't see yourself clearly. So how can you see other people clearly? When we're carrying the emotional weight of grief, the painful emotions, the unresolved communications. And I think that's really what it comes down to is all the things that you wish you could have, would have said, or could have, would have done. When we think about grief, the definition I like to use is grief is the loss of anything that we wish would have been different, better, or more. And it's anything that we wish we would have done differently or better or anything like that. So that's a lot. And when we have these unresolved communications, just because the person dies, those communications that are unresolved within us still carry on. We still carry those. And what do you do with that? What do you do with those things that are on your heart weighing on you, or things that you wish you would have said or didn't say, or the emotional completion that did not happen? That's what you're carrying. That's what's painful. And so that affects your ability to make money. It affects or may not. I mean, because you can actually go the complete opposite, right? And just completely distract yourself and be highly productive and laser focused on your career and to the neglect of everything else, right? As a way to distract. So, but it affects your money. It affects your relationships. It affects how you show up in the world, your energy.